Angus and I come at things from pretty much opposite directions, but we almost always land in the same place. So it's it lends for some heated conversations that usually end with us saying, "I agree with you." You know?
I would love to be in the room to see one of those.
Yeah.
I would love to be part of those. I had a partnership in the past in another company, and it did start like that. And I know what those are about. And and that's so I have people in my life that I can call. I have a mentor that sort of has those conversations with me. A lot of, putting me in my place, telling me how stupid I am on some level, like where I should be better. Because, I think that is really valuable to not just, especially with the social media world I live in, where it's like, a lot of praise a lot of times. And it's like, that's cool for a minute, but it doesn't really help you get any better.
Yep.
So having a partner, like I said, I am really jealous, and maybe one day I'll have one.
I'm familiar with many people who had partners that didn't work out. We did a project probably, God, I don't know, maybe 12 years ago, at a funeral home of all places in Billerica, and a really nice guy who owned the funeral home we were working for, and he couldn't believe that we had a part. He would always say, "Partners are for dancing," and he couldn't believe that Angus and I could persist through years and years, and he was always saying that we would never ultimately end in splitting up or whatever. But I think for us the secret has just been the longevity, the shared sacrifice, again, that started early and has continued to this day. One of our mantras is leaders have to do what needs to be done whether you want to do it or not. And so there's plenty of difficult conversations with clients or designers or employees that I just assume shy away from. And I'm certainly, I'd say, of all of my characteristics as an owner, that's probably my biggest liability, is my tendency to shy away from a difficult conversation, because that's kind of the opposite of my operating mode. My operating mode is more around trying to build people up and to be positive and to support and encourage. But as a business owner, you have to also be able to do difficult things sometimes. And that's something that's a focus for me. And certainly I'd say one of my largest areas of, need for improvement. It's easy to kind of walk around with rose-colored glasses and be like, oh no, everything's going to be okay. And again, one of the other amazing things about members of our team, one person in particular, one of our project managers, is, he knows that about me. We've never had an explicit conversation, but I know when I get an email from him that has a certain tone and says certain things, that I can hear him saying to me, Eric, you need to have this conversation. Something's boiling over or going to, and I need your support on this. And so that's when you really got to pull your big boy pants on and step up. So we've only had a handful, which is almost surprising given how many different people we've worked with, but we have had a handful of inappropriate comments and unacceptable things happen to us over the years, where that required an immediate rebuke, an immediate action from me. You can't. One case actually just a couple of years ago resulted in us basically firing the client. Said you can't treat someone like that, and that's just beyond the pale. So we'll finish up, and you can find someone else to finish the project. And that was extremely scary for me on so many levels. And I was so heartened to find out over the following several months that that was not only appreciated but welcomed by building management, the team on the project, and ultimately kind of an analog to that gymnastrophy story I told you before. It's like at the time I was panicked and I thought it was going to be devastating, but in the end it actually turned out, it's like shockingly you do the right thing and it's the right thing and good things come out of that.